Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. I hope you are all very, very well. Very nice to see you. Hello, thanks for all the waves already. Gosh, got some fun things for you today. I'm continuing with my theme on roses, which is, oh my goodness, such a pretty theme. And today I'm going to be showing you how to include roses in cooking. I've got the most delicious rose petal granola. Honestly, you are so going to want to try this. So it's in yearbook 1. If you want to follow the recipe, it is, if you've got yearbook 1, it's on page 76. But let me grab our friends on Facebook, but I'll talk us through it so you can either jot it down or you can replay this later if you want to grab the recipe. So let's see if we've got our friends on Facebook with us. Hello Facebook, are you with me? Give me a little wave if we are connected and all good. Lots of lovely things to share with you today and some fun things and some news as well for what's happening tomorrow. So you're not going to want to miss that, I hope. Just to say thank you very much to Amy. Amy, I hope you're there on Facebook. Send a little message. So Amy's my digital editor, and as always she will be popping up the links to everything, so don't stress. If you're watching this in real time, Facebook, you will get the links as they appear on the Facebook page. Thank you to Amy. Instagram, always go to Linktree, so that's in my bio. Everybody on Instagram has that little circle picture of all the people that you follow, so if you go to that, and then you'll see a little bit of blurb about me underneath it, and then at the bottom there's a blue Linktree. That's what it says, Linktree. And that's the magic word for Instagram, because if you click on that, a whole wonderful world opens up of links. So links to podcasts, links to the magazine, links to articles, features online, recipes, things that I talk about, things to buy, things that I'm wearing. It's all there. This today is a really cheap and cheerful number I'll share with you. It's from Marks and Spencer's. It's their current collection, and I just rather liked it. It's rather bright. I wanted to do something floral because I'm continuing my rose theme, and you know me and pink. We've always got to be in the pink, haven't we? Well-being pink, and I just thought it was bright and cheerful and easy to wear, and I think it's about £15. Anyway, the link is on there, and they've got lots in stock, unlike my dress which I wore, which I know sold out. I don't know whether that was me making it sell out, but anyway, well done to those of you who grabbed it. But yeah, this I thought was a lovely summer bargain. So what are we going to talk about today? So I have some notices. If we're all sitting comfortably. So what I've got here is I've got a little Google document, which I guess we're all familiar with. My kids on homeschool, they've been using all these online documents. The fun thing about it is that you can share stuff in real time, obviously. So Amy, being a very technical whiz, she is able to put comments and questions and things as they come in, particularly on Facebook, because that's where she is at the moment, but we've also picked up a few from Instagram earlier and put them on for me here so that I don't have to kind of squiz at the screen, because it's really hard trying to read these little phones. Let me just tell you before I forget the exciting news for tomorrow. So tomorrow, yes, I will be here, and I'm going to be doing some juicing in the kitchen, normal time, same place. But before that, I'm going to be back on This Morning. Yes, back with my old friends Holly and Phil. So tomorrow morning, so it's going to be a busy, busy day for me tomorrow, because I'll be live, all being well, obviously, if the internet gods allow us, at 10:45 back on This Morning. Talking about juicing. So if you've got my juice book or you want to look up any juicy stuff before that, then do take a look. And then I thought I'd continue the conversation, because obviously This Morning being national network television, and you get this much time. So I'll continue the conversation tomorrow. So yeah, it'll be a bit of fun, won't it? It'll be a bit different and quite nice to continue the chat after the show. So anyway, starting off today, we've got a birthday shout out, and this is to happy birthday Belinda, who is 60 today. Belinda, if you're watching, happy birthday. And Belinda says, I'm a magazine subscriber, and for the past 2 years my daughter and I have attended the Live Twice Christmas Carol concert in December in Chelsea. And as Liz has said to us, 3 years, it's the law to attend. Absolutely. It's kind of, you do it 3 times, it becomes the law, doesn't it? So we are just both hoping that this year's concert can go ahead. Well, do you know, I was just talking to my brother. So my brother Adrian, who is an organist at Canterbury Cathedral, no less. And he's a conductor, and he conducts choirs, and he performs internationally. He's a super talented guy. He definitely has the talent of the family when it comes to music and more. Anyway, he is our kind of musical impresario when I do a charity carol concert, and I've done these now for the last, oh gosh, I don't know how long, 8, 9 years maybe. So I set up my charity called Live Twice 10 years ago. It was after the beauty company was sold, and I wanted to kind of put something back. And I'd obviously travelled a lot to developing countries in particular, where there's very little opportunity and people are very disadvantaged. So that's how I come to work a lot with countries in East Africa, Kenya, Malawi, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, places like that. And anyway, as a result of that, we then decided that we would do a fundraising carol concert every year. And we've been doing that in Chelsea for the last 3 years, I think, 3 or 4 years. Anyway, I was talking to Adrian about it, saying, what do you think? Because we always have it on the first Wednesday of December. So it's in Advent. So it kind of kicks off the Christmas season. And as you may know by now, I do love Christmas. It starts for me kind of end of September, beginning of October. I start writing my lists and making mincemeat and things. You better watch out for that. If you know, you've got to be prepared. If you're still with me, if we're still doing this later on in the year, then yeah, Christmas starts early in this household. So who else loves Christmas? Give me a little wave or a heart if you love Christmas. I just love the whole family festive time and kind of being kind to each other and sharing. And I don't like all the commercialism, obviously, but I do like carol concerts, chance to get together and have a sing-song. But of course, choirs and singing is one of the things that are being heavily restricted. And my brother was saying, actually, he was hearing from what's going on at Canterbury Cathedral that they don't think they're going to have any concerts or any kind of musical choir activities this year. So we will be thinking, Belinda, about what to do. And if we can't do it in person, then maybe we can do it kind of virtually. Maybe we can invite people. Maybe we can still be there with the musicians and the singers, and we can issue song sheets. I don't know. It's something for us to think about, but thank you for putting it back on my list. Even though we are only in June, first week of June. It's always good to be prepared, isn't it? Okay, so moving on to some comments here. This is from Jojo on Instagram, who says, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for the information on the menopause and your personal experiences. I have watched it and shared with my friends who are also confused with it all. I suffer from migraines, which I'm sure are hormone related, despite a doctor telling me otherwise. Well, that's really sad, isn't it? Yeah, we do know that during perimenopause, often in our 40s, then our hormones, as the estrogen starts to peak and trough, and it's that change, that fluctuation in the hormones that our brain, particularly with migraine, doesn't like. Migraine likes things to be very calm, and it likes routine. If you've listened to my podcast with Dr. Katie Munro from the National Migraine Centre, please listen to that if you haven't already, if you're affected, or send it to somebody if you know they get migraine or bad headaches. Because migraine likes things to be kind of all on an even keel. And if our hormones during our 40s particularly, can be earlier, but usually during our 40s, when they start to rise and fall, it's those hormonal changes that can trigger the onset of either migraine for the first time or for much more severe migraine. So what do you say here, Jojo? You say you suffer with migraines. Despite a doctor telling me otherwise, well, I'm afraid that you should probably see a different doctor, if that's the case, Jojo. I'm 47. Yeah, what should I say? 47, classic. But suspect my symptoms are linked to perimenopause. Yeah, absolutely. Sounds as if that could be the case. I listened to all your podcasts, which are so enlightening. Thank you. Thank you very much. So just a word about my podcast series. So it's called The Liz Earle Wellbeing Show. I don't know if you've got Prima magazine. Anybody buy Prima magazine? But in the issue that came out today, they've given us a mention. Isn't that great? It's being one of the best wellbeing podcasts, The Liz Earle Wellbeing Show. So if anybody from Prima is watching, thank you. That was unexpected and a real joy to open that up this morning and take a look. So the podcast series, we're about to start re-recording our next series. I think we're on about series 8 at the moment. We've got about 162 podcasts, so you can work your way through during this time. Start at number 1 and just carry on. And there are some, honestly, really fascinating episodes. I'd be hard pushed really to pick out my favourites. Max Lowry on intermittent fasting and sleep, that was excellent. Giles Yeo on obesity, lots with the menopause doctor. lots on gut health, obviously, lots on hormones, lots on incontinence, pelvic floor. Oh my goodness, all sorts. It's a cornucopia of delights, our podcast, and I do love it because it gives me the opportunity to talk in depth to a real expert, a knowledgeable specialist. If you want to talk about breast cancer, for example, you've got to listen to the ones I recorded, the two I recorded with Professor Michael Baum, who's the leading breast cancer surgeon and oncologist of his time. He did all the lead trials on tamoxifen. He's passionately in favour of HRT for women. He was the lead surgeon, breast cancer surgeon at the Royal Marsden. So honestly, they are riveting. If you've got a pair of breasts, you need to listen to his pair of podcasts. That's all I'll say. I'll put it out there. It's really good. So this is one here from... Oh, my screen's gone dark. I think I must have put it on night mode by mistake. How did I do that? How do I take it off night mode? Excuse me for one moment. This is what happens when you're not very technical. General, where do I go? Display and brightness. Let's go on to that. Come on, guys. There you are. There you go. Just shows this is live. So that's better. I can read that now. So this is from Julia Graham on Instagram, and you write to say, "Hi Liz, I'm back at work tomorrow, so we'll miss the 12:30 live. I'm a teacher." Well done. Thank you. Serious thank you, as somebody whose youngest has gone back to school this week. You guys are brilliant, and I'm so thrilled that our kids are getting back to school. I've just made some beauty bars to take. Snap! My little boy has got some beauty bars in his lunchbox, but I didn't call them beauty bars. No, we call them bicycling bars because they help him to get energy for bicycling. Anyway, you say, I shall watch in the evening, but I'll be joining back in on Friday and Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be here Friday, Saturday. Thank you, Liz, for all the lives. I've not missed one. Wow. And bought so many lovely things and made so many new friends. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's all about this lovely community. And I mean, I can see it. I can see everybody here chatting. I can see the messages coming up on Facebook, people chit-chatting, waving, saying hi. Same on Instagram, the support. And thank you very much. Hi, Marcia on Instagram. Thank you very much on Instagram for kind of jumping in and answering each other's questions, because obviously I can't do that. You know, if it was just me with the phone here, then I could kind of go in and answer questions, and I can do that on other times. We can do a kind of live Q&A, which will be a different thing, but I want to demonstrate stuff. I want to show you things because I'm excited about what we're going to do today. So a couple more questions. Okay, this is one here from Jane Rayner. If you're watching, Jane, on Instagram, and you say, "Liz, I'm in a pickle about skincare. I'd like to use the Beauty Pie retinols you recommend. But what do I do? At night or then in the morning as moisturisers? And what about now it's so sunny? And where does the ordinary hyaluronic acid fit in? Can you use it with retinol products? I'm 59 and usually like a lot of moisture on my dry skin." Yeah, well, me too. Okay, so very quickly, there's a whole piece about retinols on Liz Earle Wellbeing. I know, Amy, you'll pop the link up to it. But yeah, if you want to know more about retinols in general, retinol is a form of vitamin A, so it's a natural skincare ingredient. And it's something that can help speed up the turnover of cells in a very mild, gentle way. I'm not talking about prescription strength, I'm talking about over-the-counter products. And the Beauty Pie, the one that I use, is called Super Retinol. It comes in a pump, and I use it at night. I only use it once a day, Jane, okay, so I'm just using it at night. And so you don't need to worry about sunshine. What you don't want to do is put lots of strong retinol on your face and then go out into the strong sunshine, because retinol can cause sensitivity, so be guided. If you're going out in the sun, and even if you've used retinol at night, actually, it's useful. If you're spending a lot of time outdoors in the sun and you feel your skin is getting sensitive, then obviously use a sunscreen. I'll talk a lot more about sunscreens at another time because that's quite a big subject, but just very briefly, use your retinol at night. Yes, hyaluronic acid, a really good ingredient. Again, we've written about it on Liz Earle Wellbeing. It's not an acid. It doesn't strip the skin. It's actually a moisturiser. I know it sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Why would an acid be a moisturiser? But it actually contains natural moisturising factors, NMFs, which help to moisturise the skin. So hyaluronic acid is a really good ingredient for skin as we age, or if you've got any issues with dryness or flakiness, and it tends to be quite well tolerated, so very few people are sensitive to it. So if you want to try the Beauty Pie products, which I think are very good value, the ordinary It's also a very good value range. Beauty Pie, you only pay the cost price, literally the cost of what it takes to get it out of the factory. And the way that Beauty Pie operate is you buy a membership. So you pay a membership fee for a month or for however long you like, and then that allows you access to buy products at cost price. So it's really good. The quality is excellent. I recorded a podcast with Marcia Kilgore, who is a brilliant beauty entrepreneur and a friend of mine. And she founded Beauty Pie, she founded FitFlop, she founded Bliss Spas, she founded Soap and Glory. You know, she's a serial entrepreneur, very clever, smart woman. Hi Marcia, if you're watching, you're probably far too busy in your Tower of Power in Switzerland, doing lots of great business things and lots of lovely things for Beauty Pie. But I like it as a concept. I think it offers good value products that we can try that don't actually cost very much. And if you want to try Beauty Pie free, she's given you guys a free month. Just use Liz Loves when you go onto the website. Just use Liz Loves, and that gives you a month's membership free, and you can try all these lovely things. And that would be a good chance, if you wanted to try things like retinol to see if they suit your skin. Anyway, I'll go more into skin later. What do you suggest for bloating? Quick one here from Susan. Try the 6-week plan I've got on gut health. There's lots on gut health, on Liz Earle Wellbeing. There's a whole section on the website. Go and have a look. A whole free section of stuff you can download. And I'd also recommend doing the 6-week plan in my Good Gut Guide book. But I'm going to be talking about more gut health kind of later in the month, because there's a lot going on that I want to share with you. So what are we going to do today? We've still got time. Yes, just I'm going to have to be quick. So rose petal granola. So this is, actually there isn't a picture of it, but it's in yearbook 1. So that's the recipe there. You can see all my tags. I love this yearbook. It's just filled with so many great things, and it's all seasonal. So it's flowers and food and beauty and well-being right the way through the year. So this is season 1, yearbook 1. And then there's also yearbook 2 as well. But I'm making this recipe from yearbook 1. Excuse me for getting a bit hot. It's because I closed the windows so we don't get any noise. It's not because I'm having a hormonal moment. So I'm going to use in this as a base, you need your oats and you need some coconut oil and some honey. So I'm going to start off with 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. I can't open the jar. Excuse me, just talk amongst yourselves for a moment, can you? Oh, that's crazy. Why can't I open that? Let's see if I've got one of those. Oh yeah, I've got one of these grippy things. Let's see if that works. Oh, yes. Okay, so 3 tablespoons. Nothing like doing it live, is there really? Better not be like this tomorrow with Holly and Phil. Can you imagine? I'm going to have to be super well prepared. Right, 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. You can see how warm it is in my kitchen because it's already liquid. There's no chance that this is solidified. And then I'm going to use some runny honey. Also 3 tablespoons of runny honey. This is my prize honey. Actually, this is chestnut honey, which I was given. It's from Italy, and I love it, and it's so dark. And as we all know with honey, it's really important to see where your honey has come from. So check your labels. If you haven't already done it, check your labels to see where it says it comes from. What you don't want is the honey that says it's a blend of EU and non-EU honeys, because you've no idea where it comes from. A lot of that stuff is coming in through China, where they have bee factories, bee farms, intensive bee farming. The bees aren't allowed out to naturally pollinate. Anyway, I've written a lot about honey as well on the website if you want to know more about that. So I popped in there my coconut oil and my honey, which I'm just going to pop on the stove top just for a few minutes. And I think I add to that the rose water. Yeah, there we go. There's a link to that online. This recipe actually is not this exact recipe, but something very similar is on Liz Earle Wellbeing. I have done it as a basic granola on the website, but now I'm making it into a rose petal one. So for this, it's a teaspoon of rose water. And I'm just going to soften that down. So I'm just going to leave that over here for one moment while I mix together the other ingredients. Has anybody made granola before? Because it's actually really easy. You know, it always amazes me how expensive granola is. You know, the good quality granola is massively expensive. And I think it's because, A, the ingredients are expensive. If you want one that's not just oats, basically, with a sprinkling of something, you know, if you want something that's got a hefty handful of nuts and seeds and all the good stuff that we like, all the things that are beneficial, those ingredients are expensive. And then you've got to pay for the packaging and the processing, and the manufacturer has to make their margin, and then the shop, you know, doubles it in price to get their margin. So it's not surprising that these boxed granolas are very expensive, and it's really very easy to make yourself, as I will show you. So everything else goes into a bowl. So I'm going to use rolled oats. This is 250 grams of rolled oats. And then I am using in here, I'm just reminding myself on this recipe because I don't want to give you a different recipe, pretty much everything else. Okay, so nuts. So I've got hazelnuts, which I've roasted just to give them a little bit more of a flavour, lightly roasted. I've got almonds, which I really like, so I just use the almonds with the skins on, like that, but just, whoops, that went flying off. There you go. I just chop them roughly into kind of pieces like that, because I quite like chunky nuts. Oh no, we're not going to go there, are we? We're not. We're so not going to go there. I thought I'd be safe today, but no. Right, come on, pull it together. Okay, so I'm also using, pay attention, stop giggling, Instagram, what do you like? I'm also using, I don't have any pecans. The recipe says pecans, but I have Brazil nuts. So I'm using Brazil nuts. So I've chopped mine, again, quite, this particular item is chopped quite chunky because that's how I like them. Okay, that's all I will say on that subject. So I have got my chopped nuts in there, and I'm going to add some dried fruit. Now the recipe actually calls for raisins and cranberries, but I don't have any cranberries. I'm just using raisins, so that's fine. You know, this is granola, guys. You can add whatever you like, really. You can add nuts and seeds. You could put, if you want, chopped apricots, which have got lots of iron in them. That would be a really nice thing. And then, to make it really special, this is optional, but I do like it, and my kids really like this too. I'm using some cocoa nibs. So this is what cocoa nibs look like. Show you guys on Instagram. You can see them there in the glass bowl, and here we go on Facebook. That's what they look like. So these are cocoa nibs, and they are a tiny bit chocolatey, but they're quite crunchy, full of minerals, really good for you. And they kind of, when you mix them with milk, which you obviously would do with granola or yogurt, they just give that kind of chocolatey creaminess. It's really good with no sugar in these. So I'm tipping that in there. And then what I'm also doing is I'm just going to mix this together with my hands. And then this, so you may have seen my roses on Instagram. So this is a rose, it's actually 2 roses, that I have dried, and I dried that really quickly. I actually had a lovely comment on Instagram this morning, thank you for leaving it, saying that you use dried rose petals to make rose petal tea. Wouldn't that be lovely? I bet the rare tea lady would love rose petal tea in one of her pretty little teapots. And you know, if you also make puddings and things, panna cotta sprinkled with rose petals, flavoured with a few drops of rose water, really delicious. Lovely, lovely. So I've got 2 roses, dried rose petals are going into there, and actually they will give the granola a little bit of extra prebiotic fibre, so very good for our gut bugs, and a very slight rosy aroma, and just a little bit different. They also look very pretty. You can just see that there, kind of all mixed together. Lovely. I wouldn't necessarily use shop-bought roses because you just don't know what they've been sprayed with. Unless you're getting them from somewhere like the Real Flower Company down in Hampshire, and they deliver. But I would, I'd use homegrown or get them from somebody who's grown their own roses if you're actually going to eat the petals. Or you can buy them online. You can buy kind of food grade things like that online. Just talking about roses, look, I picked this one. So this is my Queen of Sweden, which I showed on Monday. And I popped her in a little shot bottle. If any of you have had the shot bottles from the Healthy Juice Company, that's the collaboration that I'm doing with Rosie and her team at The Natural, or the Healthy Juice Company. You get these little shot bottles, and I just think they make really pretty single bud vases. You can imagine them all lined up on a table, couldn't you? Or mantelpiece, or you know, wherever. So that was that one. So yeah, so that was the rose that I used, Queen of Sweden. So now what do I need? I need my liquidy bits. So in here I have got my coconut oil mixed with my raw honey with a little bit of rose water just to give that lovely rosy smell. And then literally all you do is you coat it all together so it will become quite sticky because you've got the coconut oil and the honey. So you might want to use your hands for this, or whichever really. Just take a bit of time to coat it really well because you want every little bit, if you can, to be coated. And then you spread it out on a baking tray and you pop it in the oven to bake it. Let me just check how long it says to bake it for. Keep an eye on it because if your oven's quite hot, you don't want it to catch, you don't want it to burn. So this is saying it's about 30 minutes and that is on a 180 centigrade, 350 Fahrenheit gas mark 4. So that's a medium oven. But I would check it every 10 minutes or so and just turn the flakes over and just check that they're not burning around the edges because you want it as nice and kind of crunchy. And of course, here's one I prepared earlier. Oh yes, because I've been busy. So this is what it looks like. Whoops. Let's go up here so you can see. So it turns into this really lovely, crunchy granola. And what I have done in the past is I have just stored it in really pretty glass jars like this. This is a jar. Oops, hold on one second. I don't want it to be too noisy. I'm going to tip that into there. There we go. So such a pretty little jar that. It's a jar that I just found in a gift shop somewhere, so I'm sorry, I don't know where it came from. But it looks lovely and it tastes absolutely delicious. And I will just give you a demonstration of how good it tastes because I can't actually resist it. I made some of this yesterday and I just had to keep coming in and having another bowlful because it was so good. So you've got very, very low sugars compared to packaged granolas. There's no added sugar. Obviously you've got a little bit of natural sugars from the dried fruit, but you've got a lot of sweetness coming through from things like the almonds. You've got sweetness from the rose water and sweetness from the rose petals and from the cocoa nibs that don't actually give you any sugars in that chocolatey flavour. So I'm going to put mine, I've got here, this is my milk. Now many of you will have seen that I went and I get my milk from a local farm vending machine. And I popped a little video on my Instagram stories, must be about 3 weeks ago now. It's still up there if you want to go and have a look at it. And I was saying about how amazing these farm machines are because it's very, very fresh milk. The farmers will milk the cows and the cows are very often from small family-run farms, so small herds, living outside, grazing grass, fertilising the land, improving the soil's microbiome and doing all of that. So very much part of regenerative farming and regenerative agriculture, which is something that I talk a lot about. And then they milk the cows. They have a small pasteurisation unit in the farm and they literally just fill the vending machine and you go along and you can buy glass bottles and then you pay £1. It's usually contactless, so you just tap your card, fills up with a litre of the freshest milk. I mean, literally, it could have been milked, like half an hour before. And it means there's no plastic waste. It means the farmer gets all the money, so you're not giving it to the middlemen. You're taking all the milk lorries off the roads. It's just genius. I mean, I just absolutely love it. Anyway, so long story, but the point of that is that when I did that post, I had a massive number of people saying, where do we go to find this? Where can we get it? Well, obviously, it's for the most part in very rural areas. But these machines are spreading all over the UK and the Republic of Ireland. And we put together a list. So Betty, who works in my team, she, wonderful girl, was tasked with tracking down over 100 different milk vending machines all over, literally the length and breadth of the UK. And there is a list now. So if you want to have a look, go to lizarwellbeing.com. I can see, Amy, you've just popped a link on Facebook. Thank you. And you can have a look and see in your area if there is one. And if there isn't, there's also a link that you can share with farmers. So if you know farmers who might be interested, and I would just love it if more farmers did this and maybe then expanded. I know it sounds a bit like an episode of The Archers, but got into things like kefir and yogurt, and we know that a lot of artisan cheesemakers are making locally, and it's cutting down all the food miles, it's cutting down the processors and the packers and all of these middlemen, and it's just delivering us good, fresh, wholesome goodness packed with nutrition. So this is my milk in my glass bottle. And actually, to be honest, you know what I would also do with this? You know what I'm going to say, don't you? I would actually also add a splash of kefir to this. That is really, really good. Honestly, I am not a big cereal fan. I don't actually believe in having cereal first thing in the morning. I don't think we should be having carbs early on. I think we should be having protein and healthy fats, but I think for kids especially, who need good nutrition. Sorry, I'll stop eating. I know that when my youngest son came back from school yesterday, that was what I filled him up with, and he's not a big cereal person either, unless it's kind of sugar coated. We always get this, oh, can I have the Frosties or the Cocoa Pops or whatever? It's such a treat. I mean, why processed sugar should be such a treat for our kids is it's a whole other story. But he was really, I can taste it. I can taste the chocolate nibs in that and the rose. Really good. So you could make some, you could give it, you could find a pretty jar to put it in. You could put it in a little cellophane bag, type little pink ribbon, maybe sprinkle some fresh dried rose petals on the top. You're giving a little bag of nutritious goodness to somebody. So, lots to think about there. Thank you for all your comments. And hearts, that's obviously gone down really well. So yeah, do try it. Let me know. Post pictures. Don't forget anything that you make. Do tag me because I love to repost it on my stories. A couple of things just to finish up with today. Something else that was rosy, actually, I wanted to just also, if you're interested in this, this was something also had a lot of comments. It's the Holos kombucha. And this is a lovely company, and I'm very pleased to give them a shout out. Started by 5 girls in London, and they work with women who've been rescued from domestic violence and victims of sexual trafficking. An amazing company. I mean, really, really good. So if you buy their kombucha, it supports this social program. And they have given us a 15% discount. So that is great. I think it's Liz Loves. And you can subscribe, so you can get 12 of these bottles delivered each month in their subscription service, which is what I do. And I think they're really good. So this one, I'm going to open it. Let's see if it fizzes. Oh, yeah. Do you hear that? That fizz, that shows it's active. And this one is ginger and hibiscus. And what I really liked about that was that amazing colour. You could actually serve this in a wine glass, couldn't you? With a lump of ice, don't you think? And have that, as an aperitif before supper or a kind of Friday wind down. Really nice, knowing that you're doing your good gut bugs a big favour. So you've got lots of beneficial microbial activity going on in your kombucha. I've written a lot about kombucha. You'll find it, it's in the Good Gut Guide, obviously my book, but lots online. Got lots of features on kombucha. We've got a little YouTube video, how to make your own kombucha if you want to. But these guys, I think, make it really well. And I love that flavour. So thank you. Very happy to give you a shout out. Couple of other shout outs just to mention before I go. So magazine subscriptions, yes. We have a special offer at the moment with Olverum. Lovely, lovely body oil worth £40. We've only got a few of them, and it's gone live as a subscription offer. So if you want to subscribe to the magazine, then you can take out your annual subscription, which I think is about £29, and then you get your free £40 oil. So I mean, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? So even if you've got a subscription already, you could take out a gift subscription because you could give it to somebody else. and then keep the oil for yourself, or give the oil away as well. Anybody who missed out and just wants the oil, we do now also have a 20%. They're lovely oils, so hopefully that is something that is worth having. So my yearbooks, yep, I've got those. So this is yearbook 2. This is the one with the wipeable cover. So if you're using this in the kitchen kind of every day, this is the one that I use. And I sign these obviously from my farm, or yearbook 1. This is the one I was cooking from today. Again, the wipeable covers. So I've got a stash of these, so I'm really happy to sign them and send them out. If you want something a little bit more special, we have a few of these, not many, a few. And this is the limited edition yearbook 2. We've only got yearbook 2 left. All the yearbook 1s went, I'm afraid, as the limited edition. But this is the one with the really pretty linen effect cover and the foiling. And we only ever printed 200 of these. So they are super limited. You know, when they're gone, they're gone. And they come with a special book plate, which I inscribe with a message. So you just say what you'd like. Had some lovely messages, actually, to people's mums and friends, you know, marking this strange period of time or marking anniversaries or birthdays. So those you'll also find on the Liz Earle Wellbeing website. And talking of gifts, don't forget it's Father's Day coming up on the 21st of June. So still got a little bit of time to start thinking about it. And one of the things that I really liked was the 10 bean to bar chocolate box, because I'm a bit of a chocolate fan, but I like nice chocolate. So this has 10 different bars in it of amazing, sustainable, artisan-made chocolate made by this family down in Salcombe. It's the Salcombe Dairy, and it comes in this sailing ship box with its kind of rope handle. And again, they have given us 10% off using Liz Loves as an offer code. So thank you guys. Lovely to connect with all these small brands. There's so much going on. If you want to send a single issue by the way of the magazine, then I've got these single issues here, which we send out with a handwritten note. We're just really doing that at the moment during lockdown for people, especially if they can't get to the shops or can't find the magazine easily, and you want to send it with a gift subscription. And this was an idea that came from Helen in New Zealand. If you're watching, Helen, thank you very much for that idea. It's been hugely popular. Lots and lots of you have been sending just the current issue with a little personal message to somebody that you know and love and care about. So really happy to continue that just for the time being. So if that's something that you'd like to do, then please do. So tomorrow I will be here. I'll probably be a bit exhausted because I will be up early tomorrow to prep the kitchen and get it all looking good. I'm going to have to put a fan in, I think. Otherwise I'm just going to be like a big kind of sweat ball when I talk to Holly and Phil. So hopefully I'll be able to get over that. Maybe I have to leave a window open or something. Anyway, I'll be on this morning tomorrow, all being well, at 10:45 talking about juices. So if you'd like to tune in, please do, and then we can continue having a chat about it afterwards. Thank you. Lots of comments about this top. It's a cheap and cheerful number from Marks and Spencer's. I'll pop the link on Facebook and on Instagram. But yeah, they seem to have lots of sizes, so yeah, go and look it up. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you for being with me and sending lots of love. Do take care. Let me know if you make that rose granola. Honestly, seriously, 10 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned.